Okay, hi guys. So chapter 8 is called School. I'm just on my lunch break right now if you're wondering why I'm at school. Chapter 8 I believe is on YouTube and it's read by someone else, so that'll save me some time if you can watch some of those other chapters read by somebody else. So it starts with, I didn't see much of Marussia in those last weeks of summer. Some days she worked such long hours at the farm that she didn't get home until after dinner time. The task of making an evening meal had fallen on me, but I didn't mind. I reveled in all the farm produce that Marussia would bring home, depending on the day or week. Lettuce, cucumbers, corn, tomatoes, peaches, onions. In the camp, we ate rice, and more rice. Now our dinners were a big salad or corn, boiled potatoes, and maybe a bit of sausage. On the morning that I was to start school, Marussia woke me up early and said, "I have a surprise for you." When she did it and how she found the time, I do not know, but she had made me a blouse and a skirt from that bolt of blue cloth that one of the ladies had brought me on our first day here. She edged the collar with the white hand-stitched daisies and ironed smartly creased pleats into the skirt. I looked up through my tears. "Put it on. You don't have to be late on your first day." I slid my arms into the sleeves. As I did up each small white button, I noticed the delicate white stitches that circled each buttonhole. The skirt fit perfectly. Marussia gave me a new pair of white knee socks. Then, with a grin, she pulled out black shiny shoes from a paper bag. I tugged the socks up to my knees and then slipped my feet into the shoes. "They're almost new," said Marussia. "I hope you like them." I usually tried to stay dignified with Marussia. She was not my mother after all, but I felt the love that she had put in every pleat and the affection of each stitch in this new blouse. I looked at the frayed corner on her carefully pressed blouse and the lines of weariness under the smiling eyes. I scrambled onto her lap and hugged her fiercely. I could feel hot tears spilling down my cheeks. "Nadia, my Nadia," Marussia said, drying my tears with the back of her hand. "I want to make you happy." I tried to answer, but I could not speak. I just nodded, hoping she realized how much I appreciated all that she did for me. I splashed cold water on my face to calm my swollen eyes, and then Marussia braided my hair. Instead of doing it the usual way, she coiled it up like a crown and then topped it off with a huge white bow. I looked at myself in the mirror, seeing another me in the mirror, a younger me wearing a pink dress, my eyes red from crying. "You look like you've seen a ghost," said Marussia. I blinked. Yet that younger me was gone like a wisp of smoke. Marussia walked me to Central School. We were the first to arrive. She pushed the door open and we stepped into the empty hallway. "Your room is down here," she said, tugging at my hand as we turned and walked down the corridor to the left. She knocked on the door, and when no one answered, she turned the knob. The door opened. "Good luck," she said. She put her fingertips to her lips and blew me a kiss as she walked out of the school. It wasn't until I was gone that I realized her walking me to school meant she had missed her ride to work. I stepped inside the empty classroom. I had peered into this very classroom when I had taken my first walk around the neighborhood. A large blackboard and a big desk were at the front. Rows of desks filled the rest of the room. Which one would I take? Would the teacher be upset if she came in and found me in the wrong place? I took a chance and sat at a desk in the back corner, then waited for the others to arrive. In the camp, one of the men had been a professor before the war and taught a few older children a bit of history. A woman who knew English had held classes for the adults as well as children. We sat on our benches and used our laps as desks. On the wall had been a poster of the Taras Shevchenko, Ukraine's most famous poet. I don't know where the picture came from. I can't imagine anyone escaping the war with it. Maybe it arrived in a care package from Canada or the United States. I also had a vague recollection of lessons in German from a stern-faced woman in a one-room schoolhouse, but when this was, I could not remember. I looked down at the beautiful blue outfit that Marussia had made for me and ran my fingers lightly over the fabric, loving that each stitch had been made just for me. Okay, now here's a flashback. Vata in the drawing room cuts an imposing figure in his black uniform. I see that his tall leather boots are covered with mud. No matter. There are slaves to clean up after him. He sets a package on top of the table and sits down. Mucha sits across from him with her back rigid on the divan, a stiff smile on her lips. She pats the spot beside her. Eva scrambles to sit there. I sit beside Eva. "This is for you, Gretchen," he says. At first I'm excited. I lean over and touch the brown paper lightly with one finger. "Open it," says Eva. I looked at her and see she's almost bursting with excitement. I pull the package from my lap and tear it open. A beautiful pink brocade dress. It's not like anything I'd ever had before. I know I'm supposed to be happy, but the sight of this dress makes me feel ill. I look up at Sveta and put a smile on my face. Thank you, I say. Sveta grins. Now the entire Himmel family will look nice at the rallies. I take it to my room. I hold it to my shoulders and turn the mirror. I look like someone else. That night, I cannot sleep. I turn on my bed lamp and get the dress. It smells of fresh laundry soap and a faint scent of something else. Sweat? I turn it inside out and examine it for clues. I notice an extra ribbon of cloth attached alongside of the back zipper. I fold it over. A name tag. A tiny embroidered letters. Rachel Goldstein. A sudden image of that girl in the lineup, the one in the yellow. I push the dress away from me. The flashback is over. The chapter is almost over as well. Children's voices coming through the classroom window, laughing and calling, sounding excited, yanked me back to the present. Tears welled in my eyes, so I took a deep breath and I tried to calm myself. I could tell from the sounds outside that other children were getting closer, but none of them came into the classroom. Maybe I should have waited outside instead of coming into this room? But just then, a woman with straight hair cut to her chin walked in, and I was trapped. She smiled at me and said, "You must be our new student, Natalie Kravchuk." I stumbled to my feet and bowed my head to her, and in my best English, I said, "Good morning, Mrs. Teacher. My name is Nadia Kravchuk." She held out her hand to me. "I am Miss Ferris. The other children will be coming in soon." I shook her hand. She turned and left the room, so I sat back down. I heard a loud bell and nearly jumped out of my seat. Within minutes, the hallway buzzed with the children's voices. Miss Ferris came back into the classroom. Behind her was a line of children. Okay, oh no. The chapter's over, but I just noticed that chapter 8 is called Humiliation. I wonder what's going to happen there. Doesn't sound like anything good. Okay, so this video was about 10 minutes. And again, chapter 8, I believe, if you type it into YouTube, chapter 8, Stolen Girl. And you might need to type in the author is Marcia. That might help too. And you can listen to it by somebody else reading it, okay? Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.